What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rum Pure Sports Thursday Night Football Show. I think we got noises going on in the background. I think that's my YouTube, so my apologies, but we're live. We're here with the people. We do not have Simon here. That's why there's some errors. We are on StreamYard, which means we can kick people out if they make some bad takes. The problem is me and Rubio both have access, so who knows? Maybe we'll boot each other, and then it'll just be Megan and Kurt sitting here. We'll have to see. Hopefully you guys had a decent main slate. There was definitely some carnage, some tough injuries, but hey, we're here to bounce back. As DC, I saw him say on Twitter, he said, listen, you got the night slate to get back with it. So, hey, we got our chances too. Gallus, I can't say his name, Galatasaray Fanatic. He said Big T got his player pool up if you remember. So if you are a member, go check it out. His player pool's up. It's a Niners slate. Listen, I don't have to say much. If you have followed Big T, you know who his captain is today. I'm just going to say that. I ain't giving away anything. It's a secret. He shipped a ton with having this guy in the captain spot. So be sure to check all that out. But we're obviously going to talk about this slate. We got about like 45 minutes or so. Rubio's got the playbook up for the people. We got Kurt. We got Megan. Let's go over to you first, Rubio. How are things looking on the main slate for you, and how is the playbook?
Well, thank God there's an afternoon slate, and thank God there's a showdown slate because I was able to cash the afternoon. I was able to look forward to showdown because my main lineups, you want to hear what I ended with? My main team ended with 65. So It's been a rough day. It's been a rough one, but the afternoon slate cashes by the skin of my teeth. And then this one here is just going to be a blast because it's showdown. We all know who Big T was going to captain. I love how you brought that up, Mangone. I didn't even look at his player pool, but I knew the answer to that one. I mean, it's kind of funny, but I kind of agree with it. I mean, he's kind of underpriced today, so it should be a little bit interesting. I'm looking forward to the slate. I'm looking forward to talking with you guys about it because I spent the whole afternoon kind of cranky until about now.
All right, let's go over to you, Kurt. How was the day? It sounded like you said you were on some Packers with the wagering, so you're against your Bucks, but how's it going over there?
It's going good. I faded Montgomery completely out of 170 lineups, but I think I lost about like 15-20% in DFS, but I had so many Romeo Dobbs, Packers to win parlays that it's not even funny. I probably had my best sportsbook day ever in my life. I had that alone. I had Packers to win alone. I had Dobbs to score anytime alone. Then I parlayed them with a bunch of other stuff that hit. Cup, Rams to score, Andrews to score 2 touchdowns, just all kinds of stuff. So great day there. Definitely ended up positive overall. Ready to get back into this slate. I'm a big Russell Wilson guy. He's hurt me all year, so I'm ready for that to change tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, if it was your best sportsbook day, I was going to say, it's a Sunday. I thought an Asian won in golf. I'm not sure who actually won.
Tom Kim captain actually was my best scoring.
Was it?
Lineup, so.
I know Tambo shipped, so congrats to him. He won a lot of money, even though he's got the power out. Meg, let's go over to you. How's it going over there for you? Obviously, tough sledding being a Commanders fan, but how else was the DFS streets?
And my mic is about to fall. Yes, like Rubio, I've been cranky all day too. I went to a Washington bar for a little bit, and then that was just a nightmare. So obviously, Commanders had a very rough day. I had a very rough day DFS-wise. I was very high on Tua and Kirk Cousins, and that just went very badly for me, and then had some injuries and that kind of stuff. So rough day, ready to make it up tonight on Showdown.
Yeah, well, we can put that past us. We got tons of shows this week to talk about everything that happened, so don't you worry. And one last thing to say before we move on. Everyone said that, every spend-up receiver is going to crush. Just a reminder, we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know what's going to happen tonight. So let's embrace that a little bit, and let's embrace Rubio's playbook. Rubio, let's talk about the captains here. You got George Kittle up there as someone that you're considering. Obviously, you got some Russell Wilson. Debo's another one. Who are some of the captains that you're going to? Give me the reasons why you're going up to these options.
I kind of want a receiving option. And the only reason why that is because the Broncos split the backfield quite a bit. And the 49ers, I don't know what to expect with Jeff Wilson. You have Deebo Samuel who could vulture from him. And you have, some receiving options there. I kind of get Jeff Wilson a little bit. But I'm looking at George Kittle. I'm looking at Courtland Sutton. I'm really looking at Deebo Samuel as well. Those are the 3 guys I'm looking at. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think Kittle, they waited for him to be completely healthy. So I'm not really worried much about his health or anything like that. I just think he steps into this role and absolutely eats. But I really am excited about Courtland Sutton because as much as I like Judy in week 1 and Judy paid off, Courtland Sutton's wide receiver 1 there. And I don't think that's really much of a debate. I think that all those targets, his double-digit targets back-to-back games for Courtland Sutton, I believe. So I think Russell Wilson likes him. He's a big-body receiver. He's always had an abundance of talent, and he's under 10K as well. So something I'm considering there. I think Deebo plays a ton out of the backfield tonight too. We saw how deadly he was the past 2 seasons as well. He's just an awesome player. And I just think like the only thing holding me back on him at captain is just the price tag. But other than that, I mean, those are the three guys I'm mainly considering. You can throw in Russell Wilson in there if you like a pocket passer, but I'm not really about it, even though he's in play.
All right. I mean, listen, I think you brought up some good points there. I do think that Deebo, he's in play. I'm a little more cautious on him just because, you know, I don't love the guys that run as much. I want the guys that are catching. Yes, he can catch the ball. We know obviously Jimmy G will throw to him. I don't know. I'm thinking Brandon Ayuk's just a guy that won't be on anyone's radar tonight, like at all. And I know Rubio, you're a big Brandon Ayuk guy. So before we get to everyone else, why no Brandon Ayuk love in the captain spot, Rubio?
No Brandon Ayuk love, period. Just because I just think Kittle being back, you got a bunch of guys there who are just kind of hovering around with like Deebo, and then you can even throw in guys like Ross Dwelly, maybe to go more two tight end set, Juwan Jennings. I just don't really love the price tag of $7K when Kittle was right next to him. But I think that creates a good leverage play. But for me, I'm just not really interested in Ayuk. And I know that I'm a big Ayuk guy going back to last year and stuff. You guys clown me when he was feasting a little bit. And Bobby even shipped a King of the Beach ticket or something like that with him as well. I don't know what it was, but I do like him, but not tonight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you being down on him is actually selling me on him because I think a lot of people are going to say the same thing. Well, Kittle's back. Well, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we just have no idea. You know what else happened today, Rubio? CJ Ham, 15 receiving yards. Justin Jefferson, 14. Anything can happen. If Brandon Ayuk outscores Kittle or outscores Deebo, wouldn't be surprising. So that might be a guy I think I'd take a pretty big stand on here in the captain spot. Kurt, let's go over to you. Obviously, you like some Romeo Doubs, so maybe you like some Ayuk, right? That's a younger receiver. Maybe it's some Deebo Samuel. You like Russell Wilson a bit. Do you like him with Cortland Sutton? Who are the captains that you're looking at here for the Broncos and the Niners?
So definitely looking at all the 49ers pass catchers in the captain spot. I am on Ayuk. I think everyone's going to be saying the same thing. Kittle's back, this and that. I think, it helps. Less coverage. You get more one-on-ones. Give me more one-on-ones with Brandon Ayuk, who apparently had a great camp, and John Lynch was slobbing out all day. I'm signing me up. He has good rapport with Jimmy G. So I got there. I agree with Ruby about the running backs, but I can't help myself. I'm going to cap in Javonte. I think he's a stud. I know it's a bad defense. I think no one will do it, so I'm not afraid to do it. But for the most part, I'm not going to do it with the San Fran running backs. That's a mess, man. I have a hard time even putting them in like utility because it's scary. Even Marlon Mack, like I know.
But Javonte's really good, though. That's the one thing I'll say. Like, Javonte's like,
yeah,
I like putting him in there. I mean, even just Jeff Wilson could be interesting because, like, one thing to mention, I know you're cringing, but people think George Kittle, man, like he's great for the pass game. Do you know what George Kittle's actually good at? Really good at blocking.
Dude, the
blocks. And like that can unleash a lot for a guy like Wilson. We don't have TDP there anymore. TDP got hurt. He got 1 million carries the week before, which made no sense because every single one was for 1 yard while Jeff Wilson looked like the better back. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do think that Jeff Wilson is in play more because Kittle just naturally helps open those things up, I think, overall.
Here's my problem is Jeff Wilson's the best back here. Don't get me wrong. And Marlon Mack was cut from the Texans for a reason. But when I watched Mack in the preseason, he didn't look dusty. Like he looked explosive. And behind this like running game and this scheme, if they let him in, I wouldn't be surprised if he catches a hot hand for a little bit. And I know Marlon Mack is a dust ball, but I watched him like 2 or 3 series in the preseason, 2 different games, and it's like he really impressed me. He was cut for a reason. But my point is, Jordan Mason. Yeah, it's Jordan Mason, the guy from Georgia Tech. He's there too. He's impressed them. It just scares me out about Wilson. The one thing I do love is that guy is ferocious when he gets to the goal line. So you have that secured. They're not going to put – I really highly doubt they'll put anyone else around the goal line. So that's really secure. So that gives Wilson reason to take him. But it's just a messy situation, man. I'm not afraid to use all 3 of them as well, rotate them.
All right, Meg, let's go over to you. Who are the captains you're looking at? Obviously, tons of different options you can go to. Sutton, I think, is a good call up by Rubio. Judy wasn't on people's radar as much, probably because that Q tag is there, right? That's going to keep ownership down. It could be Albert O. Maybe he goes from Albert 0 to Albert, puts up 20. Who knows? Who do you got at the captain spot here?
Well, I do like the Broncos tonight. I like the kind of Russell. I keep saying this that I said it last week that Wilson's going to bounce back from that rough week 1, and so I like actually a Wilson stack with Alberto and Sutton and Judy, something like that. But I like Wilson. I like Sutton. They're my 2 favorite, and I'm kind of boring. I like the studs. I like Deebo and Kittle, and I'm willing to get cheap and different with my flex. So I'm kind of not really looking to pay down a captain. And those are my 4 studs I'm interested. And then I'll get a little more creative in the flex, I think.
All right, guys, if you could, can you please like this video, subscribe to the channel? And we got 405 watching. We got 66 likes. So let's get those likes up. Obviously, we want to get out some plays of the day and stuff like that. We got the core plays filing in here over on the playbook. Glock's got his core in, JSU. I see Hoops got his core in there. Got the cash core as well if you're grinding out those cash games. Uncle T's got his in there as well. So tons of different options for you guys. Just waiting on Rubio's. We're waiting on K Fallis. And we're waiting on Kurtz. And obviously, you're getting some of their takes right now. So be sure to check that out. Rubio, let me go over to you here on this one. Obviously, we have to talk about some flex options. We should talk about Mac because, like, do you think he's an interesting, like, value running back to help make things work? Like, I ran some stuff and I saw him randomly at the captain. And I was like, that sounds stupid. Also, your boy, Kyle Juszczyk, I think is how we say it. He's in there too. Obviously, I know you like to talk about him. So we could skip around a bit. We were talking about the captains. Let's go all the way to the basement. Let's talk about some of these cheap options. Who are you going to here?
So Kyle Juszczyk and Marlon Mack, I think, are the 2 guys under 2K that I really, really like. I get the love for Andrew Beck because we saw him in week 1, in that Monday Night Football game, standalone primetime game. Everyone got to see him get chances. But Marlon Mack has apparently been practicing with the first team, with the second team in this past week. He's not going to start over Jeff Wilson or anything like that, but it does show that he's going to get some reps in this game. So that could mean 5 to 7 carries. I mean, we saw Davis Prince get 14 carries last game. I could easily see a guy like Marlon Mack coming and getting 10 touches. That could be something that happens in the cards. And so under 2K, I'm all for that. Juszczyk, you know me, I love him out of the backfield, whether it's 1 catch, 2 catches, but he's also a big goal line guy too, where maybe they feed him at the goal line, he gets a touchdown there. I know he did it just last week. But I think if you're looking at under 2K, you're trying to go, oh man, I don't got any salary left. I think those are the 2 best guys right there. I don't need to go to Andrew Beck or anything, but Juszczyk and Mack, I'm still kind of gauging to see how many touches I think Mack will get because he probably is a little bit better than Juszczyk, but those 2 guys, man, I'm definitely going to have pieces of them.
Here's the thing about Mac is it's just what I said. I don't think they're going to go into this game thinking, okay, we're going to give Mac this many touches. I think it's going to be like, okay, let's give him 1 chance. And I think based off what I saw in the preseason, this guy's going to come out, have 2 touches, and one of them is going to break for a long run. And they'll be like, okay, let's ride this guy a little bit. The fact that he was working with the 1s and 2s, I don't think they're going to have a set thing, but I think it'll come out and he's going to shock him a little bit. And then Mac gets a little bit extended run, maybe sneaky.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm curious to hear what do you have to say about Marlon Mack? I'm not dying to ever put Marlon Mack on a team. That's why I think the Brandon Ayuk, the mid-tier kind of build where maybe I grab a mid-tier captain and then I grab these mid-tier options. Maybe that's an interesting way to go for sure. Who do you like here? Who do you like in the value range? What's your thoughts on Mack? And then tell me some of these value options that you like.
Yeah, I'm honestly confused. I wanted to get your guys' take about Mack versus Mason. I was actually going to take some shots with Mason. But, I know, Shanahan will do that where he'll ride the hot hand. So, I wasn't sure and I was still trying to decide between those 2. But I was going to take some shots on the young guy in Mason. Am I crazy there?
No, I don't think you are. More safer. Let everyone else play Marlon. When has Marlon Mack ever worked?
Plus, you save $1,600 as well.
Right. Yeah. It's $1,000. Right. Yeah. I think 1,000. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not hard to just he could catch it at garbage time at the end of the game. It could be that the Niners are getting blown out. It could be that the Niners are leading. Just don't know. Obviously, it can go a lot of different ways there, for sure. Let's I guess since we started at the bottom, right? We obviously talked about just Mason now. Rubio, let's get your take on Mason. Do you think that's an interesting way to go? I just think getting low end guys we saw. I don't think anyone knew who Watson was for the Chiefs when he shifted on the showdown slates. No one really thought that was going to happen. So, are there any other guys down here that we should just be embracing that maybe people aren't even thinking of? Hinton, we know he could be a gadget kind of player. I mean, I think at one point he was playing quarterback for him. You know what I mean? So he got elevated from the practice squad. There's obviously Mac. We saw some of these Denver tight ends catching a bunch of passes. And then, of course, there's the defenses and the kickers. So talk about them, Rubio.
So with Jordan Mason, I do kind of like the play, especially if you're just taking a dart right there because he's 1K alone. The only thing is when I was looking up who's going to get the touches, because I thought it could be Mac or Mason. When I was looking it up, it does sound like Mac was getting more touches in practice, but that could just mean they're trying to integrate him into the offense a little bit more. But that's definitely something where if Mason is the one who gets 10 touches, people are thinking it's Mac. You'll automatically get leverage right there just in the cheap range. But I think just down low, I mean, it's Juszczyk, Mac for me. I definitely get Mason. But then Andrew Beck would be the only other guy. I can't really go below the 1K range at all. there's not a whole lot of guys that I can see really doing anything down there. And I think all three of these guys here have potential to at least find the box one way or another.
All right, we got some comments in the chat. People saying 31-10 Niners. We got people talking about Garoppolo. A lot of use check in the chat. So, yeah, lots of conversation in there. Let's go back to you, Meg. What do you think of like these kickers, the defenses, all these other ones? Like, I mean, we saw the Browns, right? They just got it home with that late garbage touchdown with the Browns defense.
Right.
Do you think it's a spot where any of these defenses are kind of interesting? I mean, Jimmy G's on the slate. He can easily throw a pick six.
I might have a little interest in the defenses, but I'm glad you asked me this because I am actually really interested in both kickers. We're playing in Denver, high altitude, right? Weather's going to be good. Both these kickers are studs and veterans. I'm not saying you have to jam both in or preload your lineups with two kickers, but I have an interest. I have a lot of interest in these kickers tonight. These are also offenses that aren't like humming and like, it's not like they're, scoring touchdown after touchdown and always converting. I could see them stalling out. And, let's be honest, Nathaniel Hackett clearly trusts his kicker. He trusts him more than Russell Wilson in week one. So, I think they're going to send him out there. Both kickers could be sent out there for some long bombs. And I really like the kickers tonight. So I have a much stronger stance on both kickers than the defenses. Love the kickers tonight. So.
All right, let's go over to you, Kurt. Kickers, defenses, what are you doing with them? Obviously, they're a talking point on almost any showdown slate. How are you handling it?
Yeah, so the defense will only be in like my 5-1s, which I'll have like one of each, probably just the 5-1. That's the only ones they're going to make. I don't feel like I'm going to go out of my way to get them just because I like the kickers for everything Megan just said. I usually don't have narratives for kickers, but I'm kind of McManus seemed he took that 61-yarder that he missed, the game winner on Twitter. He took it kind of hard on himself. So I'm like, I don't think he should expect to make that kick, but I'm going a little revenge narrative. McManus comes out here and bangs some like 2 long ones. Maybe he gets another and like 3 extra points or something. I think he has a big game, but that's something I'm giving a slight edge to McManus because of that little reason, which is just kind of a par narrative. But yeah, like with the kicker, I don't think double kickers out of this could be the first double kicker shipper tonight. I'm calling it.
I like it.
I like it. I got a double kicker team that I had found before I was asking the question. I'm looking around and I saw Brandon Ayuk captain and these 2 kickers. And I said, this team's pretty good. I like where it's at least some salary on the table. So I plugged it in for now. So if for some reason I get too distracted throughout the rest of the show, I'll run a train of it and we'll call it a day. But doubt that's going to happen. The double kickers, I like it though. We'll have to see. Let's go. Let's keep going up, right? We obviously started at the captains. Now we're going to keep going up. We'll go past these kickers. I know Jawan Jennings. He's a guy that could catch a pass out of nowhere. I don't think it's the craziest idea with some of these mid-tier receivers. Then you got Dwelly, Hamler, Albert O, backup quarterbacks. We can't be doing that on this slate. Obviously, that seems a little too crazy. And then Melvin Gordon. Let's go with that. So like below 7K. Actually, let's put Brandon Ayuk in there. So 7K and below. Brandon Ayuk all the way to like the kickers and the defenses. Rubio, let's kick it off with you first. Like I said, I love Ayuk. Is Melvin Gordon in play? Who are some of these mid-tier guys that you're putting into your lineups?
So I actually really like Melvin Gordon quite a bit just because I think people are so like, oh, Javonte Williams is the next big thing, which he is, but they're still limiting him a little bit. And Melvin Gordon's easily going to get 45% of the touches, it feels like. And he's going to stay in on his drive. If he's around the goal line, he's going to get the goal line touches too. So I don't hate that play. 6,200 is not bad at all. And it goes I think Russell Wilson captain might be a little bit chalky tonight, which for good reason. But then you also have guys like Sutton and Judy are going to carry ownership. And there's that leverage right there off Javonte Williams alone. So, I'm kind of liking Melvin Gordon for that reason. I also like KJ Hamler quite a bit too. So KJ Hamler dudded in week 1. He was hurt coming into that game. He missed the second game as well. But the thing is with the KJ Hamler is the fact that he's a good talent. He's just a good player. I bought a little bit of his cards on Rainmakers this week too. So I'm kind of putting a little bit of stock in that hopefully he shows out in prime time. But I just think that those are 2 guys who can outperform the talent. Their price tags quite a bit. Hamler's a guy who can go 5 for 50 and a touchdown easily. So he kind of goes well with Russell Wilson's tags too. And I don't think he's going to be high owned at all. As far as Albert O goes, I don't mind it. Just someone that we just saw Goose last game and he only had 2 targets. They have a plethora of tight ends, and that was with Judy out too. So I'm kind of afraid to go to him. That was with Judy and Hamler out. So I'm kind of afraid of Albert O just a little bit, but I definitely get the play. As far as Jennings, Dwelly, and the defenses go, we have 2 game managers here. Jimmy G and then Russell Wilson. We have guys who don't really like to turn the ball over too much. And I'm not really sold on the defenses here. I'd much rather go to the kickers like you guys said.
Yeah, imagine being scared to play a tight end on a showdown slate, Rubio. Come on, show some heart. Like this is the slates they've crushed. It's every single time. I mean, Dawson Knox on a main slate, bust. Dawson Knox on prime time, gets it done, right? Of course, all these guys. The tight ends, it's where it's at. Let's go to you, Meg. You're shaking your head. Are you going to Alberto? Maybe some of these backups, like some of these backup receivers like Jennings, and then Ayuk, obviously. Let's talk about him because I think he's going to be a contrarian piece that's in the mid-tier that I like a lot.
I don't have Ayuk a lot right now. I agree with you that he's going to be a contrarian piece. And I think that's smart. I mean, again, look at today with Justin Jefferson. You don't know, right? So it could be an Ayuk night. And so I'm fine with him. I always like trying to take shots at tight ends on Showdown. Obviously that feels like a theme like the last year or two, but I definitely have an interest in Alberto. And even if you want to take a shot on one of the super cheap, dart tight ends. That's what, I made the stand on Komet last week. And then it was Ryan Griffin who was in the optimal lineup because he caught one pass, so you never know.
Yep. You never know what's going to happen there. Kurt, how about you? What do you think in this range? Like I said, interesting. Jennings, Albert O. Are you going back to him? Obviously he was brutal last week and people, they remember it. People don't forget. So what are you doing here with someone like Albert O in this mid-tier range?
We talked about it earlier. I am playing Ayuk. As far as Melvin Gordon goes, I know we don't want to tell everyone to play everybody, but Sunday is a day that we are all degenerates. We all load back up for these showdown slates. If you're not playing Melvin, go reserve one more lineup. Throw Melvin in there because I promise you don't want to be that guy who's bitching on Twitter when Melvin Gordon gets his 1-yard touchdown. Don't be that guy. Go get one Melvin Gordon chair and hope that you somehow that ends up being the nut lineup. Just do it. Just gamble responsibly, but don't be that guy. Just get a share. Because he'll try.
I'm going to be that guy, Kurt. If Melvin Gordon scores, maybe the game's probably being turned off anyways at that point for me.
I'm getting my share, and I hope it's the nut lineup with him. So
it's time to lock Melvin Gordon. I heard, huh?
Oh, baby, Melvin Gordon. no, don't do that. But as far as Alberto goes, San Fran's always kind of defended this position pretty well. So I'm going to be extremely light. I might only have like one share of him. I don't think he'll get the volume, but I could see him sneak in the end zone. It's showdowns, tight ends. We know how that works, but. Let it be known that this 49ers defense is usually pretty good at stopping tight ends. I like KJ Hamler. It seems a little bit overpriced for it because he done shit this year, but he's a deep threat, as well as the next guy I'm going to mention, Ray McLeod. Has 2 targets in each game this year, but he's a guy who can get deep on one of those play-action bombs for like 60 yards, and that's a whole different showdown like slate if he scores a 60-yard bomb. He's 2,800, so no one's going to play him. It's kind of like a 5th, 6th, 7th lineup type of thing. But that's all I have in this range. I'm not playing Beck. Use check. I don't know, man. I'm not playing use check. I'm taking my stand. I'm going to play Gordon instead of use check as far as goal line, guys.
One thing I got Jack in the chat. He says Russ can't cook, and it's dinner time. So I wonder if Russ is going to be able to cook tonight. Like, what's on the menu? It might not be so pretty. I do want to call something out. I'm going to. Listen, if you pay attention closely, you'll be able to figure out this equation. But this is a team that it leaves $2,500 on the table. Okay. Now use your imagination. I'm going to name 4 of the guys, but the other 2 guys, they're my favorite guy, but he's not in the captain slot, and Big T's favorite guy who's in the captain slot. So figure that out. And the other 2 guys are Albert O, Brandon McManus, Cortland Sutton, and Russell Wilson. And that team leaves $2,500. If you can put the math together and figure it out, because we can't give out the full lineup, that team's pretty good. So, leaving salary on the table on this slate, I think makes a lot of sense here for sure. So, definitely think overall, I like the idea of leaving salary. I mean, yes, it's open on almost any slate, but this slate particularly, I think it's pretty interesting to do for sure. Let's keep this thing going, though. Let's talk about the guys at the top. Obviously, I talked about Russell Wilson not being able to cook. Rubio, are you playing some Russ Wilson in the captain? Do you think he's cooking up a gourmet meal for you tonight, or is he stopping by your favorite place, Burger King, and picking up something on the way home for you?
One thing I've learned playing Showdown is you don't play game managers in the captain position. And I think Russell Wilson is a glorified game manager. I just don't like him at all. I don't even think his teammates like him. They didn't like him in Seattle, that's for sure, with all this news leaking and stuff. I think you need him to run one in because I think the Sutton or Judy can outperform. Like we saw in week 1, it would end up being Judy captain. And I'm afraid that if Russell Wilson goes off, one of those guys are going to end up being the optimal captain. If Russell Wilson ran one in, he would shut me up. But I really think that just going Sutton or Judy at captain is probably a little bit more optimal in the long run. But I still get it because they do have a plethora of weapons. But I'm just not going to do it.
All right. How about you, Kurt? What are you doing at the top? Like these flex options, Russell Wilson, Javonte Williams. I mean, there's a lot of guys we can talk about here in this range. Who are some of the guys that you're wanting to spend on? Maybe it's Deebo Samuel. He's someone I don't think I'm getting to as much today. Not that I think he's a bad play, but I don't know. I just think I'm going to some other options. What are you doing here at the top in the flex? Kurt, you're on mute.
Shout out my guy Hoop. That was for you, baby. He's not listening, but it's for him. So I'm definitely captaining Deebo. No one on this slate has Deebo's ceiling, like not even close, dude. No, I don't care if they have their career games. Deebo's ceiling is legit 50. So the captain spot's like 75. I don't care. I'll make it work. I'll do Deebo double kickers because I mean, obviously, if Deebo has an insane game, no one else on San Fran's going to do shit hardly. So definitely give me Deebo captain. Russell's captain, like Greg said. I mean, no, just captain Sutton or Judy running back with one of them. But, yeah, I'm loving the Deebo captain. I hope people stay away from it because it's so expensive, and he's not had a true, like, explosive game this year. So, yeah, I'm loving that, actually. Probably going to be my main team. I have to get my core up as well.
All right. Sounds like you like some Deebo captain. Sounds like you like him in the flex. Who are some guys that you're going to, Meg, up in, like, the top? Like, obviously, you got to fill out these options at the flex, and, like, Russell Wilson, Cortland Sutton, it sounded like you like. Judy, there's an option. Like, there's a ton of them you can go to above 7K. Who are some of them that you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Russell Wilson stack. So even if you have Sutton in the captain or Judy in the captain and Wilson, I like his weapons. I do like, I mean, I don't love Melvin Gordon, but he's 4,000 less than Javonte. So I don't think I'm going to Javonte as much. It's more of just like a price issue more than a Javonte issue. I love Javonte, but I just feel like the split workload makes me nervous. So, and then, on the San Francisco side, for me, it's pretty much Deebo and Kittle. You're talking me into a little Ayuk. So, but that's pretty much it for me. Again, I have a pretty tight core, and then I'm going to go to the double kickers if I need to save salary, or one of those cheap running backs if I need to save salary. And again, I just think this could be like a kind of a closer game. The total's not that high. So, and again, if they're stalling out and kicking some bombs and such, then, I'm not as that kind of tight group of studs I'm kind of fine with.
All right, let's shift on over to one of my favorite conversations. Rubio, you know what time it is, right? What time is it, Rubio?
5-1, 4-2, 3-3. Huh? What is it?
Yeah,
what is it?
2-4,
is that the question?
5-5. Like, what are you doing? 5-1, 3-3. What's the build tonight? What is the route to go? It's my favorite question to ask everyone. I mean, 3-3 is always popular. Do you actually want to do that on this slate? Are you doing a 5-1 onslaught? What's the take, Rubio? What are some of your favorite routes here?
I'm telling you, I'm liking 3-3, Mangone. Just because you said you didn't like it. I think you can go 3 San Francisco players. And the reason being, I'm going to defend this here real quick, is that the cheapie is on the San Francisco side. So I think the Broncos may win, but I can go 3-3 and I have the cheap guy like Marlon Mack or Kyle Juszczyk in my like utility spot. So really I have more money invested on the Broncos side, but then again, I still have, a 3-3 stack. And the biggest reason why, I think you can go Deebo and Kittle without Jimmy Garoppolo. And the reason being, I think Deebo Samuel can run one in. He can get there a variety of ways. And if Kittle, they would both need to score, I would think, or even Kittle just goes off in one way or another. But I'm trying to think of a script where Jimmy G doesn't get there, but Deebo and Kittle are in the optimal. That's the only thing holding me back right now, or else it might become a 4-2 Broncos.
Well, it happens when Deebo runs in touchdowns, and like I wouldn't be shocked if Kittle just like gets a bunch of chunk yardage on like the PPR. So that wouldn't surprise me if that's how it happened. Easily is a route that it could go. Let's go over to you, Kurt. What's your favorite route? Are you going 5-1? Jack in the chat says 4-1. You're off. You need more than 4-1. So, hey, we got
on FanDuel.
Oh my God,
FanDuel. I guess so. Yeah, FanDuel. Fair enough. But who really plays FanDuel? Let's be real. We don't talk about FanDuel that much. But until they fix it, right? Stop with this crap. Like you have NBA, you have an MVP star, and then you have a pro spot. Why can't you do it in NFL? It's ridiculous. But Kurt, let's stop talking about FanDuel. Let's talk about DK. What are you doing with your builds today?
It's the most donkey way to build, and it's not hit this season, but it's going to hit tonight. The 3-3 build will hit and be optimal tonight. It's the donkey way to build. It's the most popular way to build. Don't care. Tonight, it is the optimal. 3-3, baby.
No, that's not the way to build. The way to build tonight, the way to build is very simple. 49ers, or sorry, it's I'd go 2-4. Yeah, 2-4. So I'm gonna go 2 Niners, then I'm gonna go 4 Broncos. I think that's the way to build today. I think it's simple. So Meg, how about you? What's the route that you're going? Maybe you're going like the onslaught 5-1. What's your takeaway there?
Maybe I'll do that on FanDuel 4-1, but no, I'm with you, Mangone. I like the 4-2. I like the Broncos tonight. I like 4 Broncos, 2 49ers. I will say you could get away with the 3-3 a little more with, as they said, the cheaper guys and the double kickers. I won't let that go. But no, but most often I will do the 4-2 with more with Broncos.
Yeah, I definitely, when I do it, I prefer going, I like doing it too, where you get like the 2 in the captain slot, right? So you get like 2 Niners and like one of them's in the captain slot where it's Kittle or Debo or Ayuk, one of those guys. Maybe it's Jeff Wilson. And then I like to go with then the 4 Broncos is like the flex spot. So that's kind of sometimes like the unique ways that I like to do it. Jess in the chat says, no QB showdown build. Heard it here first. Listen, that's definitely viable. It certainly can work. Fading both quarterbacks is possible, especially on Jimmy G slates. It works out more times than not. I've seen it on Jimmy G and Aaron Rodgers slates. I remember a bunch of them when he just wasn't on the winner at all. Now there was Aaron Rodgers. So definitely is certainly possible here on this slate, especially if the Niners just kind of ground and pounded it. You know that they like to do that. So yeah, those are kind of some of the builds that we're looking at. Guys, if you could please like this video, subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a ton over here at Run Pure Sports. We appreciate it. So yeah, let's dive in though. Let's keep talking about this slate. If you guys got some questions, feel free to fire some questions in the chat. Definitely happy to answer those for you guys. But Rubio, let's go back to you. The core plays are coming up, right? Obviously people are putting them in. Do we want to give out a core if we get a certain amount of likes? I mean, we don't got a lot of time. We're at 103. I'll say if we get 150, give me 47 more likes. We'll give out a core, Rubio. We only got actually, this goes to 8:20. I always forget the time. So we got 17 minutes to get those likes home, Rubio. Whose core are we giving now?
Oh man, you know what? I got to go with my guy. I think Uncle T. I think he deserves it.
Yep, Uncle T. Shout out to him
in the chat tonight.
Yeah, he's been active in the chat. His birthday was this past week, so give him a belated happy birthday to him. We'll give out the Uncle T core. That's definitely a good idea. I like that. We got to get those likes up. We got to get 47 more so you can get that Uncle T core for the showdown slate. Meg, how about you look? I don't know if you're checking out the playbook, but like who's
what I was looking at.
Oh, you're looking at it. Good. Who's someone that you like? Who's someone's core that you like a lot today? Like someone that you might be on, or you think is like maybe something that kind of piqued your interest, at like a different type of construction.
Well, actually, right now I'm on the primetime cores. So I think I was on the wrong page. So
I'll give you a second. Like go to that, but I'll ask Rubio a question.
Yes, thank you.
Talk about the fades. We always like to talk about fades. You know, the chat was talking about the QB fades. Who are some of the fades that you got here on the playbook tonight?
So Ayuk is surprisingly there. We kind of already talked about that. Albert O is a guy just because he goosed last game and everything kind of ran right for him in terms of like Judy being out. Just not a whole lot of like things going well for him. He's got to compete with a lot of people for targets and stuff. But like you said, tight ends in Showdown has done well. And if you're a believer in narrative, I guess it makes a little bit of sense. But I don't have any Jawan Jennings, Eric Sauber. I kind of like Kurt's case for Ray McLeod, but I still don't have any interest in that. And I'm going to fade the 49ers defense because Russell Wilson, game manager, takes care of the ball, doesn't turn it over.
All right. All right. We'll just go to you, Kurt. Fades. Who are some of the ones that you're looking at here?
I hate to do it to my guy who won me a lot of money in college. I'm going to go fade Mason. I think Max impressed him. So I'm going to fade Mason. I think I'm going to axe Alberto for the same reasons. If he was like 4 or 5-ish maybe, but I just don't think he gets in the box here. Fading him. Probably going to fade Jimmy G as well. 9K. I think you can just stack his receivers with him.
All right, Mike, let's go to you. I guess tell me the core that may have stuck out to you, and then I guess let's talk about any fades that you're really interested in here on the slate.
Yeah, well, I agree with to start to go off Kurt. I agree with Jimmy G's the Jimmy G fade. I agree with the Albert O fade. And again, I love Javonte, but I am not as interested in Javonte tonight. It feels uncomfortable because he could, obviously bust 2 touchdowns. But I just can't pay the price, I think, because I like the Wilson stacks, even if it's like you said, like Debo and the captain and then a Wilson stack, you can't do it all, right? So I think because I like the Denver passing side more, Javonte is a fade for me, unfortunately.
All right. The crazy part is you guys have forced my hand to hunt for a Albert O captain team. You guys went across the board and swept it and said fade Albert O. You just said no Albert O. So it's a tight end. Like, I'm looking for one. We'll see if I can find one by the end of the show. So that's just how it works on these shows. You make fun of one person.
Yeah.
I made fun of a lot of baseball players this year, and then they just went yard, and they were absolutely terrible. A big team makes fun of Albert Pujols. What happens? Albert Pujols just goes yard. So
just yard. The dude's resurrected his career. What do you?
That's
big
true.
Team prime Albert Pujols. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is insane. He got to 700. So I'm gonna look for one. Let's see if I can find an interesting one. Meg, who's the? Maybe you said it and I wasn't listening. It's certainly possible. But who's the person's core that you liked that you thought was interesting?
Mine. You like mine, though, don't lie.
Yes, I do like Kurtz. Well, yeah, I do. I like because you got Brandon McManus. So, of course I like Kurtz. I like let me see, I'm going through them right now as far as my favorite, because I really like the Russell Wilson. Hoop's got Sutton as a captain, Russell Wilson. So I'm gonna go with Hoop for right now. I'm still deciding.
All right, there you go. So, hey, if you haven't signed up at Run Pure Sports, go sign up now. Check out all the content that we have over here. Listen, we got it all for you. If you like college football, you like MMA, you like sports, this is the place to be. Great place to sign up. We got a Discord chat where you can sweat all the games out with people. We got Monday Night Football tomorrow. I mean, who does not want to watch some Cooper Rush and Daniel Jones on a Monday night? That just sounds like a great time. Also, we got a show tomorrow with Whistles again. So, Whistles, Big T, JT Hayes, they'll be breaking it all down for you guys. So be sure to check it out. Going to be another show that's on the YouTube channel. I don't know how long it's free, though. I know Big T was talking. He said, maybe it'll go behind the paywall soon. So might have to sign up to get that. Check it out tomorrow. Should be on the YouTube channel. And, yeah, of course, like that video and like this video, too. We're 11 away from being able to give away that core Rubio. So get that thing handy for us, the one that we're giving away. It's Uncle T. So, and the Uncle T core doesn't look too bad.
I like it.
Not my cup of tea. I'll say that. I'm going a different route, but that's okay. It's good to have different opinions. I'm still rooting for Uncle T. I hope he can get the job done if I can't get the job done. You can be second for me, Uncle T. I'm rooting for my lineups first, but I'll root for your second, Uncle T. Kurt, are you placing a big wager over there on your phone? Maybe you're just texting some lady. I don't know.
No, I'm hammering the Albert O touchdown.
Oh, you're hammering the Albert O touchdown. That is the move right now. It really is. I need to find. Let me see if I can find an Albert O captain here. That's interesting.
That's great. Fade him and then bet the touchdown. I love it.
That's the move right now.
That's right. I'm
actually messing with Saber right now, and I got to get rid of a couple of guys. Like Mike Boone can leave the pool. I think I'm safe to make fun of Mike Boone, but you never know in Showdown because Xander Horvath scores touchdowns apparently. So, and there we go. The first team that pops up in Saber, Rubio. It's an Albert O captain. So I'm gonna have to. It's got your boy Kyle Juszczyk in there too. So it's definitely an interesting one. It's one I'm going to give a look at for sure. Let's see. How long we got? We got 144 likes. We got about 11 minutes. So I think the people will get that thing home for us, but we got to wait for it. Tom Jones in the chat said he said Judy Man. So I'm assuming he's talking about some Jerry Judy. And we haven't talked that much about him today. I think there's a lot of Cortland Sutton love. I guess
I'm higher on Judy than Sutton.
Okay, I think that's a good call. I think the way to handle Sutton and Judy most of the time this season is, okay, if Sutton is 50% and Judy's like 25, like, dude, they're like very similar plays. Like you just play one.
Can I just say something that Kurt picked all these fucking winners, and I was in Tennessee yesterday begging for some football picks. He didn't chime in once. He didn't fucking chime in.
What do you mean? We did the show on Friday. We did the show on Friday, buddy.
No, we did Saturday. Saturday. I just put in the chat. I'm like, hey, I'm in Tennessee, boys. You can give me any picks. Mangone didn't speak up. Kurt didn't speak up. And then Kurt's coming on here like, oh, I got winners. I got Dobbs with Packers money line. I got this. I got that. I didn't get any of this, Kurt. And then you go Judy over at Sutton with me. This is not good mojo. This Friday, NBA season kicks off, and like I'm not going to get any love there, am I?
I assumed you watch every single show. I assumed you checked out our show on Friday. I mean, me and freaking Tyler and Spread give out the nuts, and it's hurtful, man. We can't even hit 1K views, and we're just giving out nothing but winners.
You can't tell me just to go rewatch the show.
I should have done that. That's not bad.
That's fair. I did not watch the show. There's too many shows to watch. That's the thing. When you subscribe to the channel, your phone's just always going off and telling you that shows are live. So what I do is, if you subscribe and don't want those notifications, I turn the bell off. And then when I go to YouTube, I say, oh, look, there's a new video at the top. There's another new video. I can watch them now. And then I go through and watch them. But
Same.
I mean, Kurt, I'm out here grinding. I'm out here grinding college football, MLB. I mean, my Saturdays are very, very busy. I don't got time for the show.
This is a Friday at 3:30. Yeah, ain't no one doing nothing at Friday at 3:30.
Friday at 3:30? Yes, Kurt, I am. I'm getting ready for the MLB slate. I know. Kurt, I mean, I have to. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I can't.
Here's a thought. We take baseball and we just throw it, and it just goes extinct, and we never play baseball again.
Yeah, except once the postseason comes, it's a little bit of fun for a little bit.
Postseason's fun. I can't lie.
And the Mets are shipping it this year, so I want to see that happen. But
I'm excited. I'm actually excited for the Mets postseason, honestly.
I am too. We got Diego. He asked Ayak a start. Yeah, I love Ayak here. I think he's just got a ton of upside and going to be lower owned, so I think he's pretty good. I'm going to give a check at the likes. We're at 147, so we're getting close there. I'm not letting the people I'm not giving it away early and then we just turn it on me and then we didn't hit 150. So I'm waiting for it. I'm going to sit there and wait for it. Andrew G said he said it on the bet show. He said, read the note. So it's a good time to say there's a nice betting playbook. We have a playbook for the DFS side, but we have one on the bet side as well. And if you read it through, it definitely helps you learn different ways to bet and some different thoughts from guys like Tyler and Spread, who are really, really good at betting at the NFL. So be sure to check that out on the Run Pure Bet side. You can add that to your Run Pure Sports package if you want. Sign up today. It's definitely some really, really good content. And let's see, the people get it. They still haven't gotten it home. I'm waiting to give away Uncle T's winners because he's in good spot tonight. It's birthday week. Uncle T is ready to rock for sure. So yeah. Let's see. We got someone asked, will Kittle be 100% owned today? No, he won't. I mean, Tom Brady's not 100% owned sometimes. We don't got I'm trying to think. Was Nick
100% as in health, Mangone?
What?
100% as in health.
I think he's going to be about 69% is what he's telling the media.
That's a fair point, Rubio. Yeah, 100% health-wise. Anthony, I don't know. I'm not George Kittle's doctor. George Kittle is the guy who strikes me to play when he's hurt. There are those guys like Russell Westbrook. He's a guy I would always be dude, it's probably not healthy through this one. But some people, they just fight through it and you're I know you're not right. You shouldn't be out there. But Andrew asked Kittle and the captain. Yeah. Kittle and the captain. I think he's a good play. Our guy Big T thinks he's a good play. So Anthony, Andrew, Kittle's a good play. And I think he should be fine. I'm not too worried about it, but we don't know what's going to happen with his health unless someone else is a doctor here and knows anyone a Twitter doctor. Rubio?
Yeah, just a little bit. I have to play doctor when I coach the women's soccer team.
All right, Rubio. So what's your doctor opinion on George Kittle's injury that I don't even know?
I'm playing him, he's 100% healthy. But if I was fading, I would say he's a little gimpy and all that.
That's great analysis, actually.
This
is why I signed up to Run Pure Sports, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
You see it all the time in NBA. If I'm fading Anthony Davis, he's going to get hurt. But if I'm playing Anthony Davis, he's going to smash.
Chris in the chat says no showdown QB season, so someone else is on board with that. This is what I want you guys to do. I got 5 minutes. I'm not saying to stall the whole time, but I want to sift through these Alberto captains because I want to get this one in there. Rubio, how about you take it away? Either talk about the playbook or maybe you have a question for our other panelists that you can ask instead to kind of help the people out.
So I will say we're already at 150 likes, Mango. Can I do the grand presentation?
Let's get to 169.
No,
hit the like button.
Well, so get us up there. But yeah, we got to give. We made a promise, right? I can't back out on it. So Rubio, take it away. Talk about Uncle T's, course.
All right, Uncle T coming out hot with the 49ers backing of Deebo Samuel captain, George Kittle, and then Russell Wilson to round it off. So he's thinking a little bit of Deebo Samuel probably in the backfield. And on FanDuel, same exact Deebo Samuel MVP with George Kittle, but this time he has Jerry Jeudy to follow it up. So that probably makes you think Jerry Jeudy on DK too. But Judy's price on FanDuel is a little bit soft. I'm kind of with with Uncle T today. I think Deebo and Kittle and Russell Wilson, they're all in my lineup too. So I like it a lot. Curious real quick, best player under 2K. Megan, I kind of want to hear your opinion real quick on under 2K. I know you like Mason. I just kind of want you to pick one there.
Okay, let me see really quick if I like anybody else better than Mason. No, Mason's going to be my under 2K guy.
Awesome.
What about under 3K? Anyone under 3K? Who's your favorite there? I like that range a lot. I love that number 3K.
There's no one else.
There's no one else there? That's unfortunate.
Ray.
Ray's interesting, right?
Ooh, if Ray catches the bomb, dude, you're just...
I mean, Ray could pull. So here's the thing: we saw something named Watson. I don't even know his first name. No idea.
Justin Watson. I had him so much that night. I had him in. I had 50%.
Why did you not like win? What happened?
I did win. I crushed that night.
I mean, where's the screenshot, Kurt? You should have just won everything.
I don't do the screen. There's a lot of times I don't do the screenshots. I think it's bad luck.
Oh gosh,
it's got to be like insane amount.
I got to talk to Big T about this. Is on the list.
It's got to be like.
I'm talking to Big T about this one. That's not Big T screenshots literally everything. He's
if I 4x, I'm not screenshotting. It's got to be like 10, 20 or more x. That's just the rules. I don't make them.
I'm gonna make the rules. Shots coming on Friday, Kurt. NBA preseason.
And then we got next week. We got EuroLeague back, baby. What to do?
There you go, EuroLeague. If you want to play some of that, be sure to check out Kurt's playbook for that. Chris says Judy concerns me. Hamler coming back. No reason to push it with Judy. Dude, he's playing. Like it's not. They're not putting him out there, and he's not fine. So like I wouldn't be worried about that too much. I think it's perfectly fine. Let's see here. 2v2, Debo and Mason or Kittle and Gould. So let's go to you, Meg. Debo, Mason, or Kittle and Gould?
Geez, I'm going to have to go Kittle and Gould to stay on brand with the kicker thing. I really like the kickers tonight.
Mm-hmm. All right, sticking with the kickers there. Let's see. I don't think I'm getting one of these Alberto captains in. I don't know. I don't think it's happening. I'm not feeling it. I'll just like Kurt. I don't feel like screenshot. I don't feel like putting Alberto in. And I'm just doing it for you guys. That way he can ship and be the winning captain in your lineup. So, yeah, I don't know. I just can't find one that I'm in love with. So that's one of the problems here that I'm having. Let's see. Any more questions? Broncos or Niners in the captain? I'm not in love with that. Anybody think that's an interesting strategy?
I'm not interested in that. No.
Defense? No.
Cool. Our very own Uncle T in the chat said Mason over Mac. So, if you want, take that for what it's worth.
Bet him on that. I'll bet him on that.
I mean, if you guys want to do a wager, I'm sure Uncle T is down to let you slide on in. I'm sure.
He'll just make it back in the golf course, probably.
That's true. The golf course. Rubio, I might be heading down there in like a couple weeks.
Really? You better let me know.
It might be.
Up and running.
I think it's gonna happen, but I'm actually going to New Jersey in like 3-4 days. I'm going back to the East Coast. Excited to get back there, have some like really good food because food in Colorado is not as good. So excited for that. Get to get some good pizza again. So should be a fun time for sure. And I get to sweat the East Coast football, right? Football's better on the East Coast. Back to that Big T discussion. Do we all agree on that? I think East Coast watching football is best, but I will say being in the Mountain Time Zone. I don't know. NBA is better over here for sure, especially with the way that block is. Like
Mountain Time is the nuts, I think. Or no, not Mountain Time. I think the one AP's in the 1 hour, like Central? Nashville's the nuts.
Central's 1 hour. Mountain's real strong. I will say that. Mountain's good. The issue with Mountain Time is it does not the waking up for college football at like 7 a.m. to start getting stuff. It's not fun. And then football, I was up at 6 a.m. and you're up late. It's not fun. So that's the one thing I'll complain about, but I'm not going to complain about much. We're actually able to sit here and play some football and watch it, which is great. We got Tyler in the chat says Mountain. Bill says Central is the way to go. Cansey says Ray McLeod with the Niners cap for the win. And then Uncle T says, man, great show. And Kurt over Rubio. So Uncle T's rankings, I think for the show, Uncle T always puts me first. So I'm number one. I'm sorry, guys. He just didn't have you. He had me above everyone. Then it goes Megan. Then it goes Kurt and Rubio. I'm sorry. You're just at the bottom here.
Hey, thanks, Uncle T.
Just like today's
I have something really, really gross to admit. And it's really gross. My secondary main has Melvin Gordon in it, and I don't feel good about it. I didn't want to leave 1K and take Alberto. I think Melvin can outscore Alberto. So
gosh, now I really should have played an Alberto captain. Now I really should have. That was
he's gonna cry. Hey, I hedged though. I got the anytime touchdown, the first touchdown bet. But
well, hopefully you guys didn't make that mistake. The game is about to start. I got some TVs to go watch. I got to watch some Big Brother as well. I got a couple episodes I have to catch up on, so don't tell me.
House of Dragon tonight.
House of Dragon.
I'm still behind on that. I need to catch up. I've seen only one, so don't spoil, but I've heard it's good. I need to catch up though. And we got Uncle T. We'll close with this. Man going over Holden. Uncle T, thank you. I appreciate it. But let's get on out of here. Thanks a lot for joining us. For me, Mangone, Rubio Dimes, Meg, and Kurt, we will see you guys later.